This is Goku-san, DBZ, and welcome back for a new video game news. Unfortunately, there's not a huge amount of gaming news that I've seen, at least over the last few days. But this is going to be a special edition of pickups because of some sales and a couple of announcement of new games coming out. This edition is going to be a Nintendo Switch edition. But let's get box office out of the way first thing before we get to Nintendo Switch. For the weekend box office, coming in 5th place, Bad Boys, making another $4.3 million, dropping 26.4% from week prior. Worldwide now total comes to over 405 million, so it's definitely done pretty good. Coming in 4th place is a limited release anime film, which I didn't even know about was being released in US theaters. Only 1,200 screens, which is why I didn't make more than it did. Still, at least it actually made it to the top 5. My Hero Academia Heroes Rising, which made an estimated $5,109,000. Worldwide, it opened at $23,586,000. So just shy of 23.6 million, which is not too bad, honestly. Coming in 3rd place, The Call of the Wild, which of course CGI dog with Harrison Ford. Coming in, making 13.2 million for its second weekend of release, it dropped 46.7%. Worldwide total, it did 79,260,000. Still looks like it's definitely going to be losing money for what it costs to make. Coming in 2nd place, dropping from 1st place after holding it for 2 weeks. 3rd week it dropped out. Coming in 2nd place is Sonic. It made another $16 million for its 3rd weekend of release, which is not bad. Sonic dropped 38.9% from week prior, and worldwide total now has Sonic at just shy of 265.5 million. So not bad. It's done over 265 million worldwide. Not great numbers, but at least it has already broken even, so that's good. It hasn't lost any money, so that's good news for Sonic. And I think I think because of breaking even, and it may or may not make a profit, I'm not sure. It might make just a little profit, and even so, that will probably encourage, I think, Sony with also, of course, Sega to probably work on more future Sonic movies and stuff. I would not be one bit surprised. Coming in 1st place for its opening weekend was The Invisible Man, which made 29 million its opening weekend. Worldwide, it did 49.2 million dollars. So not bad. Making a little over 49 million worldwide. Not greatest numbers, but keep in mind right now there's a lot of movie theaters closed down right now because of course, the coronavirus, which I really don't usually talk about that stuff in my videos, though I may or may not in the next week may discuss a little bit my opinion on the coronavirus situation. It's definitely getting bad, I will say that. And I just want to quickly say before going on in this video, my heart's out to anyone who is dealing with the coronavirus, whether of course be American, European, or Asian, especially with the people of China. And they are by far the ones most affected by this, and that's not a good thing. And it's unfortunate they don't have a government that doesn't care more about them. But I'm not going to get into politics. With that said, let's try and move on with the whole thing. Quickly, a bit of news before getting on to the Switch stuff. There was a recently announcement by BioWare that they are going to be working on a huge, massive update for Anthem, calling it Anthem 2.0. Now, it's not been 100% confirmed yet, but they're saying that the massive overhaul and update to Anthem right now, they're saying could be 30 plus gigabyte update. So we're talking a pretty massive size update to Anthem. That's pretty big. I mean, yeah, as I mentioned, like last year on my birthday, a buddy of mine, which likes to annoy me, gave me a gift, deluxe or whatever edition Anthem. So if it's a decent update or something, I might actually end up deciding to download the game or whatever onto my hard drive and give Anthem a chance. We'll see. It depends how the update looks and stuff. But I may do it, and if I do, I will definitely upload gameplay onto my YouTube channel from Anthem, so I can show what the gameplay looks like overall. But with that said, there's actually definitely a huge sale right now going on. The sale started the 28th of February, and I believe it goes on for at least a week or so, or at least this week. So far, I picked up at least 2 games, pretty cheap, but both indie games. But total, there's like over 300, I believe it's something like around 300 games or so on sale on the eShop. This is just a couple of games that stood out to me. I decided to write down, mention prices and stuff. But if you're more interested, you can easily, of course, just go on Nintendo eShop and check it out. First up, you have some classic games like Doom and Doom 2 are both on sale. Classic old school games. Both $1.49 each, pretty cheap. Doom 3 is on sale for $2.99, which is actually a really good deal. Then you have Moonlighter, which was a Kickstarter funded game, of course, very much harking back to the old school 2D era of gaming, like many indie games. Now, I've heard very mixed opinions on this game, but it's on sale for $9.99, so maybe check it out if you like old school platformers. A couple of bigger name games that I thought I'd mention. One, Dragon Ball FighterZ is on sale for $14.99. That's a pretty good deal. Now, unfortunately, of course, that is just the base game. That's not including any of the 3 seasons of DLC. That adds up, but for the base game, that's not bad, $14.99. You also have Dragon Ball Z or whatever, Xenoverse 2 is on sale for $12.49. Base game, excluding DLC. But that's actually a pretty good deal, about $12.49 for Xenoverse. I mean, I'm almost tempted to get it myself, but I'm just not sure how the gameplay aspect, how it would run on the Switch. I'd probably more likely get it if it got that cheap on the PS4. Next up, you have, this is one game I picked up, actually. It's called VSR Void Space Racing. Normally, it's like $4.99 for it, which is ridiculously good deal. But the reason why I picked it up is because it's on sale for 10 cents. That's it, 10 cents, and you're only charged like 1 cent for taxes and fees. So total, if you're curious about this game, pick it up. Total with fee, whatever, you're paying 11 cents for the game. 11 cents. That's ridiculously cheap. So I definitely think it's more than worth a check out just randomly. I mean, for 11 cents, heck yeah, you should definitely pick it up. I mean, that's pretty dang cheap. But plus, you're supporting an indie game as well. Next up, you have a first-person shooter. It's called Bulletstorm. Now, it was free like several months back on PS Plus, but this is a game, if you like first-person shooters, is a game you might want to look at, getting and adding to your Switch collection. But it's, yeah, going for $14.99. Next, you have the base version of Shovel Knight is on sale for $4.99. That's ridiculously good, and speaking as someone who has played Shovel Knight, I would definitely jump at the opportunity to get this, though I prefer physical copies, of course. Now, you can get, like, brand new, I think it's like $29.99, the newest version of Shovel Knight, which includes all the DLC that's ever been released for it, which is like 7 or something different DLC packs. But if you want just the base game, you might want to look at this. I mean, for $4.99, it's worth a checkout. Next is a game that's I'm definitely tempted on picking up this digital version of, and that is Oddworld Stranger's Wrath HD. Normally it's $29.99. Right now it's 10% off during the sale, so you get $3 knocked off. So you're paying 20. Well, actually, yeah, you're basically paying $26.99, which is not bad to be fair. That's actually a pretty good deal, especially given how much the game's going for. Say, for instance, if you want a Vita version of Stranger's Wrath physical, you're looking at a pretty penny, like probably over $50. So you might want to think about picking up this digital version on the Switch for $26.99. Next, you have a interesting looking game. Is called the King's Bird. It's kind of based on like old stories and stuff from Native American folklore, which I find fascinating. You can tell certain influences from different stories from different parts of the world really played an influence in the creation. And I like the art style in the King's Bird. It's one I'm also tempted at looking at game. It's $4.99, pretty good deal, and it's a relatively newer game. You also have War Tech Fighters, which is a like an indie developed like I guess you could say what mech type fighting game. It very much reminds me of some of the Gundam fighting games, except it's an indie game, and I'm actually impressed by the looks and the graphics on this game actually, and the price is definitely good too. If you're curious about having a really good like tech-style fighting game with robots on the Switch, look at War Tech Fighters. It's going for right now $9.99. Definitely worth a check out. Next, you have Call of Cthulhu is on sale for $26.79. And one of the last games on sale, at least that I put on here, I'd recommend checking out, is Immortal Planet. It looks like an interesting game. It runs 1124, but there is one final game I didn't write on here, but I did pick up on the Switch myself that I recommend checking out. And that is a game that is called Feather. Just showed the little out there. But it's a really cool indie, like cel shade art style game. You basically play as a bird. I love the art style and everything in the game, the designs. It really reminds me of a game I love that came out a few years back called Air Memory of Old, which is also on sale on the Switch. And I recommend that game because a lot of times you can get the game for easily under $10. It's a great platformer puzzle type game with a lot of exploration, but it's fun, especially that game given the whole game revolves around floating islands and you're a character that can transform into a bird. It's really cool. It's a lot of fun. I even did actually a full playthrough, which you can find on my indie playthroughs playlist if you're curious of the art style. Now a couple of recent games coming out that are already out and other games that are coming out for the Switch. All of this stuff is all for March. Except for the stuff that just came out this past week. First up is Mega Man Zero slash ZX Legacy Collection from Capcom, which is $29.99, and you're getting several really good platformer games. Now, I picked up the game for PS4, but that's because I have pre-ordered on that. Eventually, I might pick it up when the price drops for the Switch, just because I would like to play these Mega Man games on the Switch. Both the original Legacy, especially the Mega Man X Legacy Collection, I would love to play on the Switch. But, other game that came out, also Samurai Showdown, is finally out on the Switch. If you're looking for a really good footsie style fighting game, honestly, I recommend picking up Samurai Showdown. I got it last year on the Switch Plus. I also have it on the Google Stadia. And I highly recommend the game. Definitely. I'm curious, personally, when the price drops a little, I'm curious to see how it runs on the Switch. Now, from what I've heard from, I think it's RGT 50 or something like that, 85, from what I understand from him is it runs actually pretty smoothly on the Switch. So you might want to check that out. There are two versions of Samurai Showdown. There's the base version, which is $49.99, and then you can the $59.99 version comes with the Season 1 pass, which will include like an additional, I think it's 5 DLC characters that comes with the pass. So that's not bad, $10 more, and you get 5 additional characters. So basically $2 a character, which is far cheaper than if you want to buy the characters individually, which is something like, I think, like $5 or $6 per character if you buy them individually, so you're definitely better off going with that version, that deal. A couple of recent games that are released. I haven't seen any like bundle offers for the Switch, but if you like the Metro games, you might want to look at this. It recently released Metro 2033 and Last Light, $24.99 each on both of them. So if you like the Metro series, you might want to check it out, or if you're looking for a solid first-person shooter on the Switch. Though there are definitely a variety of experiences, still, this is a series that definitely has a pretty hardcore fan base. Um, Also, you have a interesting looking a Japanese anime style JRPG. If you're interested in those types of games, you might want to check out a new game called Hero Must Die Again for $39.99. Next is a couple games coming out this month. First up is Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Rescue Team DX. It's going to be $59.99. It is released on March the 6th is its release date. Next you have Stella, I believe it is name. It's a really cool looking indie game. I really dig the art style of it. I love those indie cel shade art style games. Real weakness, and this one is gonna set you back only $19.99, so you might want to check that out. It is going to be released on eShop on March the 13th. Next, interesting looking dating sim game, if you're into those type of things. It actually is on sale. If you pre-order it right now, you can get $2 off. Normally $19.99. Right now, if you pre-order it, it's $17.99. So yeah, you get 10% off, so you might want to look at that. It's being released March the 14th. And the last two games, first being released, of these two are both being released March the 20th. First is gonna be, I think, only $9.99, pretty good. Just a remaster version of Doom 64 from the Nintendo 64. So if you like Doom games, might want to check this out. I mean, the price is really good. And if you like the Doom games from that era, you might want to check it out. Last is probably the biggest release for the Nintendo Switch this month in March. And that is releasing March the 20th as well for $59.99. Animal Crossing New Horizons. Now, personally, I've actually never played any of the Animal Crossing games. They just haven't really appealed to me personally. But I can say from a couple of people I know that it has a very hardcore fan base, that's for sure. Like many Nintendo games have hardcore fan bases. For instance, I'm a big uber fan of course, the Legend of Zelda franchise. Just like there's a lot of people that really specifically like games such as Animal Crossing. But to each their own. So with that said, I'll get ready to see everyone next time. Same YouTube channel. Hope you enjoyed this retro sounding music in the background. I'm going to be doing this type of music more often for my video game news videos and stuff. Try more of this type, more relaxing retro sounding music. I just love the synthesizers and just the soothing style of the music. But anyways, I'll see everyone next time, and I hope you have a good rest of March, and enjoy Street Fighter V month, as I'm nicknaming it, March Madness. See you next time. Same YouTube channel.